Hello darlings, what a surprise to see you here. How unfortunate that you keep bumping into me when I look so ghastly and haphazard like this. I swear it keeps happening. Regardless though, how are you doing? Good? Oh, I'm good too. I just realised, in fact, after last week's video that I'd made on how I wish to move forward and progress with things, I hadn't actually elaborated on what those things even are. We can't have that, can we, darlings? So I've decided with this week's video, I've decided to make it all about me and my plans for advancement and my plans for world domination, because we all know just how invested you all really are, aren't you? We all know how much you actually want to know about this and how much you even care about this at all. So go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, share, you know the drill, darling, of course you do. Alright, now I will give the disclaimer that I obviously haven't been too successful with all of this just yet. The key word is yet. But these are my dreams, you know. These are my goals, aspirations, and every so often whenever somebody asks me about all of this, or, you know, more likely me trying to indoctrinate them to come join the movement or something, it just gets to be so long, it takes out so much energy to type. So here I am making this video so I, for once and for all, can do it once and do it properly and then be able to share this video with the world. So if you're watching this, buckle right in, all you creatures and cryptids of the internet. Let's talk business. Wee darling, don't forget to subscribe. Step 1, viral. Now, I don't even want to necessarily become viral, but I at least want to reach influencer status. And I know everyone's bagging on influencers enough as it is, but have we ever really stopped to look at the potential they actually have? These people could change the world. They have access to do so much more without having all this generational wealth a lot of corporate business owners usually need to even start their businesses in the first place. They have potential. And yeah, sure, they've been getting a bad rap for the way some of them try and sponge off every other business out there, but think about it. If your main stereotype is for getting sponsorships, that just proves you can sell. It means you have some form of credibility in today's market, and for someone whose main claim to that is having an online presence of sorts, all power to them. And the day they realise that and actually start trying to make businesses of their own, then they're set. They're golden, which is exactly what I want to do. Step 2, business. Now, I've taken business classes, I've done my research. I even took a university level paper on entrepreneurialism this one time, and there were 2 major catalysts that hold new business owners back. One is actually getting your business launched and off the ground. Sounds pathetic until you know what it's like firsthand. And the second is actually finding enough of those first few people who are willing to invest in your product until you have a reliable and steady stream of clientele. And I'm not gonna lie, that second one is way harder than the first. Probably one of the main contributors as to why 9 out of 10 businesses fail within like the first year alone, let alone every other year after that. But what I'm hoping for is if I can manage to reach quote-unquote influencer status, I'm hoping that not only will I already have some sort of clientele excited and invested with me as an entrepreneur, but I'll also have like enough passive YouTube money coming in to fund the whole startup in the first place. Because, you know, YouTube's meant to be paying to put ads on your videos, but now they've changed that you need 1,000 subscribers and something like 6 to 10 hours of watch time to even qualify. So make sure you share my channel about and subscribe, yo. For the sake of humanity, we need this. Okay, so step 3. This is probably going to be one of the most, if not the main, top level important step to all my plans right here. This is where we're growing as a business and taking on other people. New Zealand is set for a recession soon. Anyone who's watched the signs, patterns and history of the world can see this. This whole COVID-19 stuff, that's probably the main underlying trigger for it all. And once I'm stable as a business, if the way the world's currently going is any indicator, people are really going to need those extra jobs and there will be people needing support. Heck, we all need support as it is. And once you're able to own corporations and businesses, you can start providing things like free medical care, better and easier access to counselling. Heck, I read somewhere that the reason why homelessness is such an impossible trap to get out of is that once you're legally homeless, things like work and many forms of support are basically impossible to get since, you know, They will require legal evidence of where you live, and if you don't even live anywhere, how do you even leverage yourself out from that? People literally can't even afford to eat, let alone afford transport, work appropriate clothes, and anything else needed to ace a job interview, let alone get there in the first place. And not to mention, none of that even guarantees a job to begin with. And it's just so incredibly unfair. It's like we're thriving and exploiting people's suffering and struggles in life, yet those who actually need it the very most, well, they can't even get close to the help they need. And I know everyone's all like, oh, just live life the way you want. You need to prioritise your own happiness and let that be that. Well, hold up. What's separating me from literally anyone else? Nothing. I could have been born into a millionaire's household. I could have been born homeless. There's literally no scheme or formula to it at all. You simply just get born and hope for the luck of the draw. And I don't know whether it's survivor's guilt or what, but it just feels inherently wrong to be all like, oh hey, I got born lucky this time, let's just exploit that and do nothing else. Ignoring everyone else who doesn't get to make it this time, ignoring the fact that they could really use your help, and no one got to choose where they were born in the first place. Like, we're literally all here by chance, and what are we gonna do? Ignore everyone else? That feels so selfish. Like, we've built an entire society of the backs of our own businesses and hands, and we can't even care enough to help those who aren't making it. We literally have the power to make, build, and change this world, and we don't even care enough that our own people are dying in the streets. And it feels wrong, and I feel guilty every day I'm alive, and I haven't managed to help someone else out of that. Like, I'm already in enough student debt as it is, let alone societal debt from everyone else who's ever cared about me. So yeah, step 4 is like become even more influential. Once I'm able to change people's lives as a business, I want to do things like investing and pouring assets and resources into the communities around me. I want to become so influential and game-changing that if any corrupt politician out there tries to enforce an inhumane rule of law, or any corrupt person anywhere tries to step on anyone else, I want to be able to swoop in all like, hold up, look at all these connections I have. I have influences everywhere and you're really going to try and do this? And then step 5 is basically do that on a global scale. I'm not really that keen on politics. I've seen the effects of what it does to people, but I want to not have to struggle just to friggin' live, let alone try and actively get anywhere in life, and I just want the same for other people too. So that's my plan. I hope you all enjoyed it. Now let's try and make this happen.
No, I'm so glad we're now finally on the same page of things. I'm so glad you know where I'm coming from, you know. Just how much this all means to me and how much I intend for this to succeed, because we can't be miscommunicated about this. So you need, darling, this is where you come in, you need to share this video, you need to share my entire channel actually, and you need to get everyone on board, because how on earth am I going to do all of this without you? You're my heart, darling. You're the main part of this. You're how I'm even going to get there in the first place, and I just know you won't let me down.